Hello and welcome to the Just for Gamers video game podcast. Episode 108, Over Cucumbered. In this week's episode, we play the Prey demo. JfG Ash is back in completiontown. JfG Alex loves East Grinstead.
What a town.
There's a terrible top 5.
It's terrible.
And finally, we wish someone would release something interesting on consoles.
Bit of a rant. Sorry about that, buddies.
When you're ready, do you want a countdown?
Yes.
3, 2, 1, go.
Hello and welcome to the JfG podcast. This is episode 108. My name is Alex and I'm joined as ever by my very good friend Ash. How you doing, buddy? You alright on this day?
I don't know about today, mate. I was good yesterday.
Yeah. Were you feeling good yesterday?
I was feeling good. Sparkling thoughts. They gave me the hope to go on, but today, not so much.
Not today?
Why is that, buddy? Why not today?
Today's Thursday, buddy.
It's fucking Thursday, man. I am livid. Just don't get me started.
He's mad. He's very angry. Can I ask what you did yesterday when you would normally be podcasting?
I did my Thursday job of ironing kids' clothes, mate.
Right.
That's,
for the whole neighbourhood.
Yeah, the whole neighbourhood just brought their shit round. I'm like,
Sets
hey,
up. Yep.
Free ironing. Get it while it's hot.
Always best when it is hot, of course.
Well,
important.
I mean, you don't want to use a cold iron. That'd be pointless. Like,
take years.
I don't know what that would even achieve, if anything.
Yeah, no, that's true. Do you think children's clothes do you think children deserve ironed clothes? I mean, they just fuck and tumble about the place, don't they? So
yeah, exactly. Like when I only had one child, everything pretty much got ironed. 2 children, I narrowed it down a bit. 3 kids, it's just like essential things that need to be vaguely smart, like school clothes.
Stuff that proves to the outside world that you're not neglecting the children, but without going overboard.
Yeah,
I can understand that.
Like lounge t-shirts and like PJs, like they are the bottom of the list. They are not getting ironed.
That seems reasonable, buddy.
I mean, it made sense to me at the time.
Doing your part there. Well,
yeah.
So yeah, that was your Wednesday.
How was your Wednesday? I'm guessing it was better than mine.
Yeah, my Wednesday, the reason we didn't do the show yesterday was because I went to a gig. Shall I talk about my week first? I don't know. Is that allowed?
Free flow, buddy. Do what we want these days.
Shit. All right. Okay. Well, yeah. Okay. Well, let's go. Let's go for that. Oh God, I feel all off kilter now. But hey, here we are. I was at a gig last night. I went to Brighton town. I seem to be going to Brighton a lot recently.
Is it your favourite new town?
No.
Is it your favourite old town?
Sure. It's there's stuff there. There's lots of stuff there. So yeah, went to see a band called Little Comets, who I've seen before.
Nice.
They were doing a gig. It was a cool venue. It's a place called The Joker. It's just above a pub, and they do this thing where I've been to it once before. They did it basically the same thing like a couple of years ago, where when you go through the door, you choose one of their songs, write it down, and chuck it. They put it in a pot, and then when they come out and play the show, they just draw pieces of paper from the pot and play a set of those songs. so everyone in the room's got like chucked a song in, and they just draw out randomly bits of paper and go, okay, now we're playing. Yep, there we go. We're playing this one. So
we're playing this song now.
We're playing this one. No covers.
No,
but yeah,
on the bed.
You got to be shit hot to do that, because it doesn't. Usually, when you write a set list, Like, there's a certain flow to it for a start. That's kind of important. But then on top of that, there's a logistics side of things. Like, you wouldn't, if you were writing a set list, you wouldn't put 3 songs in a row where the instruments all switch. Like, someone's using like a different guitar, and then maybe they're using the bass, and then maybe they're using a different guitar. So you've got, basically, you're in a position with this sort of changeover, bearing in mind they, like, most of that band are multi-instrumentalists, so other than the drummer, they all switch roles for different songs. You've got like a keyboard player who sometimes plays bass, and the guitarists have got like 3 or 4 guitars and lots of pedal rigs and shit. So yeah, it must be an absolute fucking nightmare to play a gig like that. But they seem to be doing it like quite regularly now, and they've definitely got really shit hot at it. But yeah, fucking great band, buddy. I love that band a lot. I know you like them as well.
I do like them. I think they're my ringtone at the moment. There you go.
Yeah. Well, that is proof, if it was needed, that you like that band.
I mean, yeah, definitely.
So yeah, there you go. We got quite drunk, and then we went to several pubs, and then we got chicken car on the way home, buddy, which was tasty, probably. I drunkenly bought some cigars, and then just went to sleep. I didn't smoke them or anything, so I've got some cigars for a rainy day now. I'm going on a stag do in a couple of months, so I'll probably take them then. And yeah, other than that, I haven't really been doing very much at all, buddy. Like, touring towns and shit in our area. We were like, we should probably, investigate where we live. We've been here 6 months, and we
time to get out and about.
Haven't been to like 3 of the nearby towns before, so we went to them, and they were all shit.
Well, that will happen.
It's pointless waste of time. Never go to East Grinstead. Never go to Uckfield. No, don't go to Haywards Heath.
I stayed in East Grinstead for 3 nights.
What did you do for 3 nights? We couldn't find anything to do for 3 hours.
I was in some sort of luxurious spa, so I was happy.
Oh, okay. Well, I suppose that'd take the edge off of the shitness of the town.
Yeah, I didn't go into the town. I just stayed at the spa. It was fucking mint.
You missed nothing.
Yeah. I nipped into town to buy some booze, and then came out. I think it was a co-op. I went to the co-op there.
There is a co-op there. So
there you go. I've been there.
That does tally up.
To let you know, I've been to that co-op.
Okay, cool.
Did you go in the co-op?
I didn't. I went past it though, so
you missed out, mate. Best part of East Grinstead.
Yeah,
fucking co-op.
The weirdest thing about East Grinstead is I was like, okay, I
love that we're talking about East Grinstead, like this like small little town, fucking no one really cares about, and like, yeah, fuck it.
Half our listener base don't even live in England.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's like, let's talk about East Grinstead. It's just down the road for me. It winds me up, East Grinstead, because I drive through it quite regularly for work. And the centre of it, there's a little high street bit that looks really nice and gives you the impression that it's a really nice town. And if you go there, it's just that street. And it's not a very big street.
There's nothing else.
The rest of it's fucking toilet. But I was on the hunt for Assetto Corsa because I wanted to buy that game, even though it's widely renowned as being mediocre, especially on the consoles. I've got a wheel. I want a new game to play on my wheel, so I wanted to get it if I could pick it up cheap. So I did a search for game shops in East Grinstead. There aren't any, by the way.
Surprise.
But there was one listed online, and you could Google Map it, and it plotted a route. So we walked there, and it wasn't a shop. There was nothing there. It was just a block of flats. Like, it was just a block of flats. I don't know how that happens. It had a shop name and everything.
What was the name? Like games?
Game Fruit, video games, and it said like video games, consoles, and arcade machines. And it was just a block of flats. There was no shop there. There was no shops for miles around. We walked there. It took us like 20 minutes. It was pointless.
Fuck. But good exercise, though.
Even more confusing than that, it was listed twice on Google Maps. This place, the same name with the same like caption and everything. So we went to the first one and it wasn't there. It was a block of flats. So we went back to the car and I was like, right, we're driving to the other one. I must know what's at the other one now. Went to the other one. It was a fucking hospital. It It was a hospital. It was a private hospital. It wasn't a game shop.
Fuck.
The people in East Grinstead are fucking, making an utter mockery of Google Maps, and I fell foul of it. That's all I'm saying, buddy. And I didn't get a Assetto Corsa there, but I did get it. But I didn't get it in East Grinstead. Fuck that place.
Well, nah, like, I just done a quick Google, and I'm on yell.com. Yeah, nah, Crawley, mate, nearest game shops.
Yeah.
Yeah, Crawley, mate. You have to go there.
Game Fruit, though. This thing, Game Fruit, it popped up on my phone. I didn't imagine it.
Yeah. I mean, I can't find it.
Game Fruit Games, East Grinstead.
Bellfruit Games? No.
No, Game Fruit.
No.
They've got a Facebook page.
They're Facebook.
They've got a Facebook page. It's confusing.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. I found it. Hello. Let's have a look at it. This is totally pointless. Anyway, we should carry on talking about shit.
Yeah, sorry. Off piece there. Anyway, that was me, buddy. I got a Assetto Corsa, which I'll talk about in the next bit. But other than that, I've mainly been drunk for a week or so, which it's bad for the health, but good for the soul, I would say.
Oh, yeah. It makes you feel good inside, but makes your inside feels bad.
Absolutely. Never a more true word.
Yeah.
So, what about you, buddy? What you been up to?
What haven't I been up to? God.
It's a longer list, that one.
Wow. My toe is not oozing shit anymore.
That's good news.
Which is good. It's not all pussy and horrible.
Nice.
I mean, I picked at it for a few days, which was fun.
Well, people are going to want to hear about that, definitely.
Yeah. But yeah, no. It's all good now.
Good.
I'm off the antibiotics as well, so pounding booze again, buddy.
And what are you drinking this evening, my friend?
This evening, buddy, I've treated myself to some Shipyard, because I'm a big fan of the Shipyard.
You love the old...
One of Portland's finest, which is probably brewed in Wolverhampton.
There you go.
I love it.
Straight out of Wolverhampton.
Yeah, mate. East Mids, or Midlands, whatever, mate. Close to home, I guess, for me.
It's a fine ale, though. It really is.
It's a tasty beer. I like it very much so. And,
I'm on the Belgian lager from the Hacht Brewery in Boortmeerbeek, Belgium, specially brewed for Marks and Spencer.
Import shit there, buddy.
It's M&S lager is what I'm drinking.
I've been there before.
I don't know what made me buy this, but it was... I think it was the price. It was
probably you had the choice of that or Carling.
It was, yeah, to be honest, that was basically what was going on. I think they had Carling, Foster's and this, and I was like, this will do me. And these are 500ml cans, buddy, and it was only £4.25 for 4.
Well, that's even better.
It's not bad, is it? It's not bad.
No,
Can't complain.
That's fucking mint, buddy.
Given...
So yeah, back on the drink, getting pissed up tonight and tomorrow night. Ooh, I'm going to have to go to get some more booze in for tomorrow. I've been to Completion Town, buddy.
Oh, he doesn't go there often.
Me.
Ooh.
Might complete a game this week. It's going to have to wait, though, because that's for another section.
Yeah, absolutely.
The next section.
Yeah.
I bought a 2DS this week because, we spoke about, I think it was last week, with Funk and his mobile games when he was on
yeah. Yeah, that's right.
So, yeah, I bought a 2DS. It's not for me. It is for my son's birthday, but I'm going to have it, 3 weeks before his birthday, so I better try it out, I reckon.
I think you need to give it a thorough go because you hand that over and it doesn't work as it should, and you're going to have a very unhappy son. So
I'm worried.
You're just doing your due diligence there.
Got the special edition Pokemon 2DS as well.
Ooh, he's going to love that.
I know, right? The main reason I bought it, because it's already got Pokemon installed on it. And that game's like 30 quid.
Wow.
On its own. Yeah, I know, right?
That's really good.
DS games are like well expensive. It's crazy. Or 3DS games, I should say, not DS. Yeah, so it's got... that installed on it. I think I'm going to get him like Lego, either Star Wars or Ninjago. I don't know, one of those two games because they're like 15 quid each. So he'll have a couple of games to play because obviously at the end of the month we'll be jet setting away on the holishlay, buddy, for a week.
Oh, cheeky holishlay, buddy. Where are you headed?
Oh, Portugal again, buddy. It's a beautiful place. It's
You
nice
always
and
go
sunny.
there.
It's because there's fucking everything for the kids. Like I haven't got to say anything. Like, it's got all the cribs, all the pushchairs, everything is there. Like, it's just so easy, and also it's fucking cheap because it's like a friend of a friend. That standard combination.
Oh, okay. Oh, fair enough. You get a good deal like that, you're gonna fucking go back there, aren't you?
Yeah, that's the thing. I think when the kids are a bit older and we don't need pushchairs and fucking cribs for babies. I mean, I keep having babies. It's my fault. I mean, I put my hands up.
Yeah.
I mean,
No, you've got to own up to it, really, haven't you? It's it's one of those things.
Yeah, and going back there. So he's gonna have his 2DS to play with, and I've started dusting off the old Vita because it's been about a year since I played. Was it Dragon Quest Builders, which was quite fun, and thinking about getting Persona 4 on it, buddy. I don't know. It's very highly rated as the top Vita game, so I'm thinking, I might get this.
It's supposed to be fucking brilliant, that game.
Yeah, exactly. So I'll probably get that, and I was thinking about getting the Lego games for my son's 2DS. I'm like, I could fucking play a Lego game on my Vita. That'd be quite nice.
And
So,
I mean, a couple of biatches, why not? Frankly, buddy.
Exactly. So maybe I'll be playing the same Vita game as him, and or the Lego game, not Vita game. And we'll have like a game off, see who can complete it first. I'm gonna be like, "Fuck you, buddy! I'm gonna win."
Fucking sweet.
Yeah, buddy. Last thing I guess that I've done this week. Do you know where we're going?
Are we gonna take a little trip down into old patio chat, buddy?
I believe so.
Oh.
Welcome to Patio Chat with your favorite hosts, JfG Ash and JfG Alex. Patio all the time. This week in the patio, I have been... I mean, you can't be inside. I can be on the patio. I mean, if I was inside the patio, that would be weird. I'd be some kind of molecule. I
mean,
guess.
yeah, or you'd have fallen foul to some mobsters, perhaps.
Ooh, maybe.
In with the cement mixer, that sort of thing.
I mean, I don't want that. Not one bit.
No.
Been doing some grounding or pointing, if you were, whatever you want to call it. So, after I gave it a good jet wash the other day, a lot of the bits in between came up, so I've had to redo them. And it's looking good. Mowed the lawn standard. Was checking on my seedlings on the grass.
Do you mow a cock into it, buddy, or
I didn't? I can't do it every week. I mean,
no.
There's only so many cocks I can produce.
Indeed, that's fair. That's entirely fair enough.
But maybe next time. I mean, I've got a bush like out the front that needs a good trimming. Thinking cock-shaped bush.
Cock bush, yeah.
Yeah, cock bush.
TM.
But yeah, that's about me done this week, buddy.
I'm just imagining your house like flanked by giant fucking penis bushes, just massive cock bushes. Your neighbours like get up in the morning and they're just horrified. Just, what is this?
I'm kind of seeing it like flopping about in the wind as well.
Yeah. You could put a little birdhouse right at the very top of the helm, so that they fly out the fucking top.
I like it.
Sorry,
that's
good. Childish of me, but
I could decorate it well good at Christmas as well.
Yeah, Christmas
put a little Santa hat on there.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah,
maybe a beard. Who knows? Yep. Flashing balls at the bottom. Massive balls.
It's kind of sounding like a bit of a. bit of a must-have, like I'm struggling to think of reasons
not to do it.
Not to do it. Yeah,
I don't know. I can't think of any at all, buddy.
No, there are none
whatsoever.
No negative repercussions to that sort of work.
Not at all.
No.
Yeah. So yeah, buddy. Like I was saying, that's pretty much my week done. Have you got anything else you want to add to our intro?
No, don't think so.
Cool. Fuck it.
Let's go do something else.
Okay.
Let's go. Let me think. Hang on, I'm brainstorming. I tell you what. Let's go and talk about what we've been playing, because I think we've both been playing some video games, buddy. And if you weren't aware of the topic of this week's show, that is the topic. It is actually video games. So serendipitous. Nice. Let's go and do that.
Nice.
Do you want to kick things off, buddy? What have you been up to?
I finished off Full Throttle Remastered, buddy, and it was a lovely game. Very short, I must say. I think it only took me about 6 hours, 2 sittings, you know. What do you want me to say about it, I guess? Lovely art style. Can't complain about it. It's a good remaster. Obviously, this game's 22 years old, so it's going to be a bit jaunty in certain areas. But the controls are nice. I really enjoy the characters in this, mainly the storyline. Not really the storyline, because it is quite a stupid storyline. That's probably why I liked it so much, actually, yeah. So the storyline is you're a biker, and you meet up with this old guy who owns, like, the best biker bike making company or whatever. And you get framed for his murder, and you have to obviously prove to the world that you didn't do it, kind of thing. And shenanigans happen on the way, with some tricky puzzles, I might add, some which make no sense. Not gonna lie, did have to Google one of them, because that was going to be my next question. How many times did you have to reach for the old lappy? And only the once, because
that's not bad then.
No, I know it wasn't too bad. I was doing all right, but I just got to a stage and I was just like, I don't know what I'm meant to do here. And the fucking stupidest thing, it was so kind of slapped me in the face when I read it. I was like, oh, for fuck's sake. Why didn't I realise that?
That's often the way with those sorts of things, though, isn't it?
Yeah. Really good. Really good game. A lot of, like, nostalgia for me. Mainly because I played it so many years ago, and I just remember it being entertaining, and, like, one of, like, my first point-and-click games that I actually kind of understood as well. Maybe that's because, like, a lot of the puzzles aren't so difficult. There is a bit that I found extremely annoying because I didn't know what I was doing. Actually, yeah, this is twice. Actually, there's 2 times I had to Google it. Mainly because I couldn't be asked to figure out what order I was meant to do something in, and at one point in the game, you have to take a, like, side road, and you have to fight other bikers, and you have to do it in a certain order with certain weapons. And I was just like, I tried several times, and I kept losing different weapons that I had, like, that I was hitting them with, and because they hit me back, I'd lose that weapon, and then I had to go back again and restart it. And I was just like, this is taking too long, because it's not in a set order. Like, how they turn up in random orders. So it's not like, fight this guy, then fight this guy, then fight this guy. It's like, you don't know who's going to turn up, and a lot of the time you're just waiting around. So I was like, fuck this. Find out what order of weapon I need to get to do this, and then, yeah. That was the most tedious thing in that game.
I think I'll know to immediately reach for the laptop when I get to that stage then.
Yeah, I'd recommend that, because it's not... I mean, 22 years ago, it probably was quite fun. Like, oh yeah, I'm fighting this guy, but it's... Because, you know, it's still using the same animations and things like that of the old game. It's very slow pace, like, getting to these fights, because you're literally just got to drive around until one turns up, and right, I can fight him now. But yeah, apart from that, really, really fun. Lots of funny moments in there, and yeah, just I love it when you just try and, like, put stuff in your mouth or something. It's just like, I don't want to put my lips on that. Or he just says, I'm not putting my lips on that. It's mint. It's a great game. I really like. It was a no-brainer for me to buy it. It was like £9 pre-order, and yeah, really good game. Glad I'm finished it. Probably won't go back again. But it did make me download. What's it? Thingy, the Tentacle. Day of the Tentacle?
Yeah, Day of the Tentacle, yeah.
Yeah, because I never played that one back in the day, or because it was PS Plus, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
So, yeah.
On your account already, so...
Yeah, I've downloaded that, and at some point I might go through it. Maybe I'll put it on the Vita, who knows?
Yeah, I mean...
I think you can get it on the Vita.
I think these point and clickers would be, perfect on that system, really.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, so apart from that, buddy, we had a cheeky game night together, which, we're not doing it so much anymore, and I liked it on, I think it was like Monday night, where we went back and played a load of old shitty games, and that was fun.
That was sweet.
Yeah, so I guess we'll talk about that later. So do you want to talk about, have you played any Full Throttle this week?
Yeah, I had a dabble with it. I've played about probably an hour, maybe just a little bit less. Sort of took some adjusting to. Obviously, it is a very old game, and I don't have the nostalgia factor that you do. I've never played it before, so it was kind of a bit of a strange one for me. But it's really endearing. Like, the script's really funny, and the voice acting's excellent. They've done a really good job with this remaster. When you click the old touchpad down and look at the old game, I feel like they've done a really good job of capturing the spirit of it. Like, you switch between the two, and it's just a really nice remaster. Like, it works really, really well, and yeah, I'm enjoying it. I had a dabble. I will continue, and yeah, I'm sure I'll get to the end of this one, maybe with a little bit of help. But yeah, I really like it, man. I love the concept of it. It's dumb, but it's original as well. Like, because the reason that it's so original is because of how dumb it is. Like, how stupid a concept it is it makes it for the better. But yeah, just all of the little exchanges, like even at the beginning there, where he like pops out the dumpster and like accosts the dude in the bar. It's just fucking funny. Like, it's just really funny.
Exactly, and it's like that all the way through. It's really good.
It's got a great feel to it. So yeah, I'm really enjoying it, and the missus was quite liking it as well. So I'm sure we'll get there, going through that.
Cool, buddy.
But yeah, elsewhere, very very brief dabble with Portal Knights, which is something that came out last week. There's a trial of it on the PlayStation Store, so I thought I'd give it a go. And it is basically Minecraft, sort of first person, third person, cutesy graphics, and yeah, as such, very limited interest to me. Having said that, like, it could be a good game for kids, and it's quite simple to play. The mechanics are quite nice, and yeah, it looks lovely, and it's quite smooth to play as well. So yeah, I would recommend giving it a whirl and seeing what you think there, but there's not really anything there for us, to be honest.
Okay.
The full version's going to have 4-player, but I just don't see why you would play it over Minecraft. I think Minecraft's, refined itself so brilliantly across the last, 5 years.
I know what you're saying.
It's just a far better game, and you get a nice texture pack for it, and you're away, so yeah.
It's all you need, isn't it, that game? Like, anything that tries to compare to it just fails miserably.
Yeah, I mean, even the whole concept, like, you kill enemies or collect blocks to craft things to make portals between worlds. They're like the Nether portals, and it's a sort of, not a rip-off, but it's in that sort of crafting genre. And it's nice enough, but there's just no reason to play it over Minecraft. And or even Dragon Quest Builders, which I think did it better than it as well. So
yeah,
there we go. But yeah, that is a 505 Games game, as is the other one that I've been playing this week, which is Assetto Corsa. I finally got hold of it. I went into game, and there was a copy in game for $21.99. Which was a bit steep. This was second-hand, used copy.
Yeah, I was going to say that's not.
It's not cheap.
Cheapest.
No, not cheap at all. But I'd kind of gone looking for it for ages and I couldn't find it anywhere. Like, it's not stocked new anymore because no one's going to fucking buy it. And there's hardly any trading copies because no one really bought it in the first place. It didn't go well, the launch of this game for them. And there were a great deal of errors and issues when it first launched. So there were huge frame rate problems when this game actually first came out, which was the reason we didn't buy it. It reviewed poorly, so we didn't even think about taking the plunge, did we? At no point was I ever hovering over it on the store going like, yeah, no, let's do it, buddy. And that's a shame because it's widely regarded to have the best handling model of any racing game you can buy.
Which is the thing that really pulls you in, isn't it?
Yeah, and if you have a wheel like I do, then absolutely you're going to want to, you're going to want as many experiences of that as you can, and if you're going to want to find out. And I wanted to know how good the handling model really was. So yeah, he went into his big drawer of used games, to get the disc and the whatever. Couldn't find it. He was like, "Oh, I'll just have a look at the back." Returned with a brand new copy, like in its shrink wrap.
Yeah.
Scanned it through the till when it was $18.99.
So it was cheaper than the
pre-owned copy for a brand new one in the cellophane wrap. And it came with several DLC codes because the game sold poorly. So 19 quid and DLC to the tune of about £15 on the store at the moment as well.
That is not bad.
Oh, it's not too bad. Not too bad. I still wonder if maybe I've done the right thing because I think is it 30 or 40 on the PlayStation Store at the moment?
I don't know, it's like 40 quid, isn't it?
I think it's but I think it might become a game that we actually would play, to be honest. And there's a massive update planned for the consoles, and it's coming soon. I just wonder. I mean, they've addressed the frame rate issues. I'm not experiencing massive frame rate problems. To be fair, actually, when there's sort of 12 cars on the screen, it does chug a little bit at times, which is sort of off-putting. But yeah, I'm just trying to bring up because I've got it saved somewhere. Here we go. Yeah, console update. There's talk of all manner of things being added to this. This game launched with no private lobbies and servers that could not fucking support anything. The online players have quickly sort of disappeared. But anyway, all of that aside, I'm looking forward to this update that they're going to do because it's extensive. Like it's like 100 things that they're improving. But the actual game itself is really good. Like it plays really nice. It's not as accessible or user friendly as Project Cars. Everything surrounding the production values is terrible. Like the music's fucking awful. The menus are shite. Like
it's what you want.
Pro Evo syndrome, It's just so po-faced, this game. And there's limited tracks as well. I'm not selling it, am I?
I mean, I'm just on eBay thinking, shit, I should just buy this game right now, seeing how much I can get a second-hand copy for, buddy.
Absolutely, yeah. No, it's just a bit different. Like, it feels far more realistic. And so it's very much a simulation. Having said that, it's not like mind-bogglingly difficult. You can make it such, but it's got all of the assists and they make massive difference. A couple of nice features. For example, you can use the D-pad to adjust things that you would normally be able to adjust in a car. When you go into the settings menu on Project Cars or even F1 and you've got like ABS and traction control and all that sort of thing. You can use the D-pad to adjust those on the fly in Assetto Corsa. So you can turn the traction control. There's 3 different settings. You can have it off. You'd have the factory version or the race version, and you can switch that as you're going round. So I did a lap with it fully on, and then I did a lap with it on factory, and then a lap with it off, or rather twanged it into a fucking tree on the third corner with it off. But it's also interesting because it's got several of the tracks that Project Cars has got on it as well. It's got Brands Hatch Indy, it's got the Nordschleife, the Nürburgring. And comparing the two, I have to say, it feels like a more accurate representation on Assetto Corsa. And some of the cars that are on there, there's far more sort of road cars, less refined cars on Assetto Corsa. So you have to brake much, much earlier, and it's very unforgiving. And the force feedback, we always thought was very heavy on Project Cars, very light on Formula One.
Is it a mixture of the two?
It's just really...
Is it a light heavy?
It's constant. So it's not necessarily heavy like Project Cars, but it's there. It rumbles away all the time, and it really does add to things. Like, for example, if you go into practice mode, it just plops your car in the pit lane, and you have to drive out like manually. And if you turn the wheel while you're sitting there parked up, then dry turning the wheel round in a stationary position, then it feeds back the dry turning, and all of that feedback just feels great. It's just when you're flying along, like there's a few cars as well. There's a GT3 car on there, and you can just feel the back go. In terms of the way that it feels in relation to real cars, nothing else that I have played comes close. Like, it just doesn't. Like Project Cars, it's quite satisfyingly heavy, but this game feels far more realistic. So, yeah. Interesting cars. I think both Project Cars and Assetto Corsa have a shortage. Massive fucking DLC bullshit on this game, by the way. You go into the garage, and it's not only got all of the cars that you have, but all of the ones that you haven't, with little cloud symbols next to them.
That's
and
nice.
I didn't spot those at first, but yeah. So you go into like the Nissan garage, and there's 5 cars there, and you click on any one other than the Nismo, and it fucking pops up onto the PlayStation Store, asks you to buy. You have to buy a pack for £5.70 or whatever. It's like, fuck off.
No.
Absolute bullshit. But there's enough on there for me. There's some lovely tracks, and it really, really feels like driving a car in a way that no other racing game I've played does. It's rough around the edges. It doesn't look great. The performance is negligible in places. There's a shortage of everything. I knew what I was buying, is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I knew
that's
what I was
the thing,
buying.
isn't it? You just wanted to experience it.
Yeah.
You want to see if it lived up to, the handling really just lived up to it.
It does. It just feels very satisfying.
Nice.
And for someone who's a bit of a hardcore racing fan like myself, it's perfect. Provided you know what you're getting. So there we go. Anyway, and I will report back on this update that they do, because they're talking about adding just a shit ton of new content, and basically they're talking about releasing the rest of the game that they should have had ready when it launched last year, and perhaps would have picked up some decent scores had they waited and done that. But
well,
that ship has sailed, buddy. So there we go. So yeah, that's me. Just those, and then we had our little. Was it a Monday night game night we had?
Monday Nitro.
Absolutely, and it was a Monday Nitro, buddy, because we played some racing games, but not with the wheels. We just played. We played. What did we start? We were going to play some Project Cars, but that slipped through the net with your downloads, didn't it, for the PS Pro?
Yeah, that was stupid. My bad. For some reason, I just didn't have it installed. It is now, though. Thank fuck.
Beautiful thing. Yeah. Well, that can happen, buddy. Maybe that sounds like something we might play tomorrow night on game night, because
I like that idea.
It's fucking cool, man. Go around that. Is it Cadwell?
Cadwell Park.
That's really good, that track.
Yeah, man. In the Mitsubishis.
In the Mitsubishis, get the old Ginetta Juniors around the Nordschleife and shit. Good fun. But yeah, so we turned to Drive Club, didn't we? And I think it's fair to say we were both thoroughly baffled by how shit we thought it looked.
It looked terrible.
I remember that game looking brilliant.
Yeah, back in the day when it first came out and was horribly broken. It came out like a year later, didn't it?
Came out a year late and was utterly fucked online. You couldn't play it online at all. But I played dozens of hours of this offline. I completed the whole career mode and a lot of the DLC as well.
Yeah, because you bought the season pass, I think, at some point when it was on sale for like £3 or something.
I did.
Stupid.
Yeah, I got all of the car packs.
It was mint.
Yeah, it was brilliant.
Yeah, it did not look good, buddy. I mean, obviously, this game runs at 30 FPS, and we're just not used to that anymore. I think.
I don't think you get away with that now. On a racing game, I just
not
don't.
On a racing game, definitely.
I mean, those Big Ben games, like the WRC games and shit, they come out, but that's like a third-tier developer with a limited budget. That it's, you know, Sebastian Loeb Rally, for example, like they're just not. It's not good enough. 30 frames is not good enough in this modern era.
Not good enough.
I mean, 30 frames chugging along in 4K so that you can see every fucking deficiency. I just honestly,
no. I'd rather just no.
There's just something about racing games, the velocity, the speed. It just doesn't feel.
You need it crisp and clean.
You do, because it hurts to look down the road.
Yeah.
If you're flying along in Drive Club, what I found the other night, because of the fact that I've been playing a lot of racing games recently, all of them running at 60, it was hurting my eyes to focus down the road, because it's just like dub, 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 dub. It's just not smooth.
Yeah, no, you're right. It's jarring.
It was.
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just didn't look very fresh. I don't know if it was some of the levels, because we played some of the new levels. Well, I say new. I think they've been out for like 9-10 months or something when the Drive Club VR update came out.
Yeah, there was some tracks through like sort of
street circuits and stuff.
And there's the buildings just look shite on.
We did play one of like the open, like landscapey ones. I can't remember.
Yeah,
which
it was
one
Norway.
It was really good, and it did look a bit better.
So I wonder, because I know that the Drive Club VR runs with like far less graphical detail. So I suppose
maybe it's just running that. I guess
maybe there isn't a more. Maybe they didn't make a more graphically detailed version of the tracks that came out with the VR.
Like, why would they?
I suppose. I mean that team doesn't exist. Yeah, absolutely. That could be it. I just know that I remember that game looking lovely, and those tracks that we drove, it looked wank. It looked
it felt like it made a big difference when because we started playing like third person, like behind the car. That's how I was doing it with the controller.
Yeah,
and then after a while swapped to cockpit view, and I was like, okay, that has improved everything.
Yeah,
quite a lot. Because most of my screen is being filled with this like lovely dashboard, which looks really good.
It does,
and I can't see all the horribleness around me, I guess. But yeah, it was odd. I didn't expect it to be like that. I don't know why. I've always got massive fond memories of Drive Club, because with a wheel, that game is just stupid. It's like I'm still gagging for like a decent arcade racer.
Yeah,
and that's the closest thing on the PS4, which is a shame.
It is. Shame. There's a shortage. There is a shortage.
Throw that back out, buddy. I want to get those wheels spinning. I want to earn some kudos.
Well, the hole in the market is. I mean, we've looked at the Crew many times, but the thing that's letting the market down is Need for Speed. That is what's letting the market down.
This year, buddy. I can't wait.
And I bet it'll be shit.
Amazing.
I bet it'll be shit.
Oh, I know.
No.
Crew's on sale at the moment. It's only £10.
The Crew is tempting.
Terrible. Can we use wheels with that? I don't think we can we?
Yeah, you can.
Bet it's even worse with a wheel.
Well, could it be?
I don't know. Could it be any worse than what it is? I don't know.
That's what I'm saying.
Good question, buddy.
Oh, God.
So from one game that looked horrible and ran slow to a game that looked really nice and was incredibly fast.
Fucking Trackmania. We haven't played it for ages. And,
I know, right?
and you suggested it, and I was like, shit, yeah. Like, why haven't we played that?
I know, buddy.
That was so much fun, and we ended up playing it for like 2 hours.
We played it for fucking ages. You were like, oh, let me just set up like this playlist. I'm like, yeah, cool, buddy, do it. I was just dicking about in the menus, and I was just like, these menus are amazing. They look so good. Like,
Yeah.
They've put so much effort into this. Like, not like when you load it up, you have your basic just like menu with your like icons where you can go down with the names of them. But then when you go into that, and you can like swoosh left and right into them, the menu, the next menu, and like there's just like really nice animations there, and like. Yeah, it's just really cool.
It's so polished. It's lovely, and we did get back into the groove of it very quickly. Like,
we did.
It was quite twitchy at first, but it wasn't long before we were doing the sort of. I think this game shines when the sort of standard run length is about 30 seconds, and you can do it like 10, 15 times.
Yeah, 15 seconds is just like 3 bends and you're done. Which some of them can be very funny.
Yeah.
And very competitive because like you're like, oh, I'm like
shaving thousandths off.
Yeah, exactly, and that makes all the difference. But yeah, you're right, like that 30-40 seconds, I think, or was it about there?
Round about that.
So it's like you've got to get a bit of, you got to learn the track like within like the first minute or whatever, and then you've got to just try and power around it.
Yeah, and you get like 10 goes basically, something like that. Yeah,
exactly. The beautiful thing is like this just reminds me of Trials like so much. It's like, right, this is the track, learn it, go, and you just have to, like, if you fuck it, you're just like restart, and then it's got like the 3, 2, 1 countdown, which is the most annoying thing. I'm just like, fucking just let me go. It's fucking mint. It's got, what is it, there are 3 different cars or 4 different cars, isn't it? I think it's 4.
Yeah, there's a selection of different cars, and there's a selection of different surfaces. You know, that wood paneling surface is a real motherfucker. It's tricky, but we played a selection. It's got one of these kind of like GTA has, where there's a sort of online client you can use to find tracks and add them to favorites and then access them in the game. So I think I added like 30 tracks onto our playlist.
Yeah, and we were there for a long time.
Half of them were on the game already, and the other half were custom made by various players.
Chumbos.
And yeah, it's just masses of fun. If you can pick that thing up cheap, it's well worth it. You'll get your money's worth just playing through the solo career. I made it all the way up to the hardest tier. I'm really struggling at this point. Haven't played it for a very long time, but tempted to go back to the single player now. But yeah, it's just brilliant. Just brilliantly put together.
Yeah, great game. Love it. Gonna play some more of it, I think, at some point.
Got to be done. And to be honest, it's a really good game night game.
Yeah, I know. Funk's got it, isn't he? I don't know.
Funk's got it. I don't know about PJ, but it goes into sales quite regularly, so probably worth picking that up at some point. Because it's the sort of game, like, I think those sorts of games, and Pez is another one, really shines where you can just get into a groove and not really think about what you're doing anymore and just like chat shit, and that's what game nights are about, really, I think. So yeah,
Gibbons,
get on it, PJ. Get Trackmania. You sweet as the punch. So
just a quick little mention, buddy. We bought another game because, you know, the game is buying games.
It is.
We might have bought another game this week. Only a little cheap one, 10p, as it was, on the Google Play Store, and that's old, is it Exploding Kittens? I think it is. That's what it's called, isn't it?
It certainly is, buddy, and I've got that. Me and Ellen, I bought it for the missus for Christmas, the card game.
Yeah.
We've played it quite a fair bit, and it's good fun. But yeah, you popped me the link over, 10p on the store, and it's got full online client, hasn't it?
Full online, where you can like text your mates like whatever code your little room is, and yeah, it should be a bit of a giggle. Maybe we'll check it on game night, who knows. But yeah, 10p. If you haven't seen what Exploding Kittens is, it's a really, it's a card game, and it's quite funny. The Yogs played it quite a bit, I remember.
Yeah, it's like a sort of cross between Hot Potato and Top Trumps in that you've got a selection of exploding kittens. There's a selection of diffuser cards.
Yeah.
If you draw an exploding kitten, you have to defuse it or you're dead. And then there's a selection of other cards where you can get pairs to steal cards off other players. There's ones where you can force other players to pick up more than one card, or there's a card where you can look at the next 3 cards on top of the pile, so that you can decide what your next move's going to be. So it's all just sort of themes around that. And I'm really interested, having played a lot of the actual physical card game, I'm really interested to see how it goes on the old... I've got it on Android, so it'll be interesting.
Should be giggle, though. So I guess we talk about this final game that, well, the demo came out today. And I've put about half an hour into it. How about you?
This is Prey, and I've played half hour, 45 minutes. It's supposed to be the first hour of the game, but I don't think it's gated in terms of 60 minutes. It's what they consider to be the first hour of the game. I don't think it's very good.
I'm not convinced. When it comes in, I'm like, oh, this is Dishonored, but shiny. Like, as in, like, modern, not as in steampunk.
I don't think it looks very nice.
It's okay.
I don't think it plays as nice as Dishonored. The movement system, I was expecting it to be the same. I think it's worse. I don't know if that's because of the environments.
Possibly.
These are snap judgments on my part, and Bethesda does have a track record of putting fucking demos out that don't in any way sell their products. I'm talking to you, Doom, but
well played.
I am massively underwhelmed by what I have seen.
How far have you got into it? Have you met up with the evil little cunts? Have you got your gun yet?
I have. Yes, I've met up with the evil bastards, and I'm, yes, I don't want to spoil it, the demo exactly, but I suspect I'm near the end of the demo, and I've seen nothing of note so far. I'm not convinced that fighting those mimics is something that will be as satisfying or enjoyable as an enemy type. I'm not convinced. I felt the same way about Dead Space.
Retarded, and they're the worst.
It's just like, I don't consider them particularly scary. They're just kind of annoying.
Yeah, I'm just there swinging this wrench around, going like, "Are you dead yet?"
Yeah.
No. Great.
It's just, I tell you what, I stopped playing because I needed to cook the dinner, and I turned it off, and I thought that was boring.
Yeah,
that was
nothing exciting happened.
I might be completely wrong. I've played the thing for 45 minutes, but I have to say,
it's not a great 45 minutes, buddy.
No, the best thing about it so far is probably the soundtrack.
The first 20 minutes are just like, okay, yeah, tutorial mode, great, cool, jump, pick shit up. Got you.
It doesn't feel nice to control. Like,
no,
it feels clunky. And it reminds me, in terms of how stark... The graphics are sort of stark and kind of mechanical. There's no flair to the art style just isn't there. It's just generic fucking boring video game. And
yeah, it's futuristic sci-fi land. 1.0.
It reminds me of Deus Ex, to be honest. It looks like Deus Ex, which isn't a pretty game either.
No,
but comes.
Say, that is not a compliment.
No, that game looks nice when the right lighting settings are used.
Yeah,
and the same applies here. I mean, the shadow technology they're using is really nice. When you're there's a moment where you're on a space station and you're orbiting a sun, and you can see all the shadows moving across the screen, and I thought that was quite impressive. But the base textures and everything, I just looks really boring. And it reeks of Half-Life and BioShock, like a mishmash of the two.
Yeah, with like the phone calls.
Yeah, I'm just
like, yep, here we go.
I'm going to play through it to the end, and then I'll probably do that again.
Just to test out the waters.
And maybe this is going to be brilliant for the rest of the game, but yeah, My early knee-jerk impressions, those can be dangerous, but my early knee-jerk impressions are...
They're the most important, buddy.
I just don't think it's very good.
No,
but there
I'm
we are.
worried about it. I mean, I'm sure it would be an okay game, but it's... I can't remember if I said shit or hit for this or now.
I can't remember either. I think I said
I'm
hit.
hoping I went shit, but who knows?
I think we might have both gone hit, but we will check back on that at some point. But I'm certainly not pre-ordering it.
No, which begs the question. We've got £10 to spend, and what the fuck are we going to spend it on, buddy?
The crew. No, I don't know.
Oh, yeah, let's do it.
Could get the crew for free, and then we won't feel bad about buying the crew. That's an option.
We could just pre-order, like, Uncharted or something.
We could. The Uncharted...
Something that we will definitely...
Lost Legacy thing.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, we will think about that, certainly. But that's all I've played this week, buddy. So unless there's anything more from you, we will move on.
No, I'm good, buddy. Let's do this.
Sweet. And now it's time for the news.
Oh, shit. Fuck yeah. By the way, we both said it was going to be a hit.
Did we?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Number one.
Number Wang.
Persona 5 on PS4 is actually an HD remaster of the PS3 version.
That's crazy.
It's not a PS4 game.
It looks amazing.
It's an up-resed, upscaled version of the PS3 code. This does not matter.
That's fine. It's been up-jizzed.
It has, but it hasn't been built for the PS4.
Had a fresh coat on it, buddy, kind of thing. You know, just...
It looks great, so it doesn't really matter. Yeah. But it was interesting. Eurogamer did a little bit of delving here. Digital Foundry got stuck in. And it's just quite amusing that they didn't build it for PS4 at all. They must have started working on it on the PS3, and they decided that their art style was strong enough that they did not need to build it from the ground up on PS4, so they just continued with their build and then upscaled that shit, and the art style carries it through. So, it's interesting. Also, Atlas has stopped being a bunch of fuckheads regarding streaming the game. They're slowly backing off from that after it gathered a lot of very negative press from the likes of fucking everyone, but Polygon I know went down hard, Kotaku, Jim Sterling. Some people just seemed to accept it. I don't know why, but yeah, basically they were saying don't stream our game or we'll file copyright strikes against your YouTube channels, which is utterly ridiculous behaviour for a game publisher these days. And I think it's just a sign of Atlas not really understanding the market. And
yeah, they've done good there.
Yeah, they're backing down. They're realizing the error of their ways. So I suppose in that regard, it's kind of an honest mistake. They genuinely didn't want their story spoiled by it being online. But there are some things in this day and age that you have to accept, buddy. And I think that's one of them. Online streaming and people who would rather sit and watch a game on YouTube than play it. You just have to accept that and include that as part of your audience going forward. It's just one of those. But either way, just interesting, really. Interesting that it's not a PS4 game, technically. But it doesn't matter.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Number 2. Very short news this week. Especially considering we had an extra day of it as well. There's not really a lot going on. We're in a bit of a lull. But number 2 this week, there was a mod called Red Dead GTA 5. It's been in development for almost 3 years by some amateur dev teams. And it's been shut down by Rockstar. They released a trailer for it earlier in the week. Rockstar and I suppose probably more likely Take-Two, or at least people would rather assume that it's Take-Two that are being heavy-handed rather than Rockstar, who've got a bit of a sparkling reputation. yeah, they obviously their legal team got in touch and said, we're not going to have you putting this out. You know, there's a big mod scene for GTA, but this is essentially a full recreation of Red Dead Redemption in the GTA 5 engine. It replaces the whole map and remakes that game. It's a massive, massive labour of love, and it's a crying shame that it's been shut down, but also no great surprise, and I'm not sure we can be particularly angry about it. What do you think?
Nah, not really. I mean,
it's their IP, isn't it? You can't...
that's the thing, isn't it? It is a really big shame that it's not coming, because that would have been awesome. Like, it was in my news favourite thing of the week, buddy, a few weeks ago.
It was.
And, yeah, when I read the news, I was just like, yeah, that sucks. But, like you say, understandable. It's their property. They don't want people fucking it up and doing shit.
You can't blame them, can you? Especially when, you know, I mean, that if that pops out in the summer, it's going to take some of the, I suppose, some of the edge, some of the excitement, some of the sales even perhaps from Red Dead 2,
true.
which is rumoured to be coming out in the autumn. So, who knows, maybe they'll put together some sort of remaster or something as well going forward, especially now that shit can, you know, it's already backwards compatible, isn't it? So
yeah,
that means when the Scorpio comes out, you'll be able to play that thing in 4K, that old Red Dead game. So, fuck, man. That's such a massive boon, isn't it? That you can play these 360 games in 4K.
It's crazy.
It's going to be nuts. Or is everything going to look really ugly because it's just like not got the beans in terms of the texturing and that? I don't know.
I don't know.
It's a tricky one. It's a tricky one. Either way, it's a shame that's shut down, but understandable. Can't really be too angry about it.
No.
Next on the agenda, the Switch. This is fun. The Switch has sold 2.74 million units in its opening month. That's the official published statistics there. 2.74 million units. That is roughly the same amount worldwide that the PS4 sold when it launched. It's an impressive figure, in fact, for a company that hasn't had a hit console for some time. So, fair enough there. More amusingly, though, Zelda, which is that Switch game Zelda, has sold 2.76 million in its opening month. So in the opening month of sales for the Switch, 200,000 people bought a copy of Zelda without actually having a Switch.
I mean, that sounds like a plan.
I don't know. Is it that they were in demand? Are those figures people who have sold them to resell them? Or is it people who were waiting to get hold of a Switch, couldn't get hold of a Switch, but thought, well, I'm here now, I might as well fucking buy Zelda for when I get a Switch? I suppose it's the latter. I don't know. What do you think? It's weird.
I don't know.
I mean, has there ever been a console with a 1-to-1 attachment rate? I mean, it's more than 1-to-1, but literally everyone who's bought the Switch has Zelda. Everyone. Every single person. Like, no one doesn't have Zelda. Yeah, I don't know. I suppose you would, wouldn't you? But
I guess, yeah.
It's just quite funny. Either way, that console's going from strength to strength, man. And I have to say I'm mildly surprised about that. I didn't expect it at that price in this time of year to be making those sort of numbers. I really didn't. So I have to hold my hands up and say, no. Okay, fair enough. Fair play, Nintendo.
It's mental. I don't know. Yeah. It's just weird.
That's my favourite reaction to Nintendo ever. You're just like, I don't know. I don't know.
Yep.
Fair enough. Yep. We'll move on. We'll move on to the Battlefield 1 Spring update, which is live. It just installed on my console before we started recording. I presume that's what it was. Anyways, there was a big update for Battlefield that downloaded. I bring it up because I know that most of the people who listen to this show play Battlefield 1. And they have added platoons to Battlefield 1. So I suppose this is like... Well, it's platoons. It is what it is, but... It's like clubs or whatever. You can make a community, I suppose. And there are proper ranks in those communities that you can assign to people, and people can get promoted. And the owner of the club is like the general. You can reassign the general so everyone can take it in turns to be generals. There are perks and points and things that are affected by these titles. It's just a nice thing. There's lots of other things in this spring update, performance improvements and extra content, and I think there's more weapons and stuff as well. But yeah. The social aspect of it kind of stood out to me, the platoons thing. It's quite nice and quite heartening as well when you're thinking about Battlefront 2 coming out, the fact that they're really sort of considering how teams and communities and things work after Battlefront's infamous fucking 2 players in a team and thing suggests that Battlefront 2 is going to be a little bit more on the ball when it comes to that sort of thing.
You would hope so.
You would. You would hope so indeed.
Maybe.
We'll see. But yeah, worth having a look. And what else have we got? Jackbox Party Pack 4 announced, buddy, launching in autumn. That's cool. I will get that because I think that Jackbox is great. I love all 3 of the other packs. Didn't actually talk last week about the bit of Jackbox that I'd played. I kind of forgot about it, but we went back and played the first pack. Which is really, really cool. But a couple of the games don't seem to work on Steam. I'm not quite sure. I'm still within my 2 hours, so I could actually get a refund. I don't know if they're bugged out or what, but basically you load the game up and it gives you the screen where it's got the room code. And you put the room code in and go to join, and it just never joins. So you can't join the game, so you can't play the game.
That's not good.
No, I couldn't really work it out if it was a glitch. I need to test it again. But yeah, bit of a downer, that one. But yeah, all in all, Jackbox Party Pack, really cool, great with friends, and Party Pack 4 is coming out later this year. So that's cool.
Nice.
So finally from me, buddy, the fact that we are recording this on a Thursday rather than a Wednesday meant we could take in the old Call of Duty World War II global reveal, which was last night.
Ooh.
Some details, it looks shit to me. That's a detail for you. It launches November 3rd. It would include a campaign that takes place between 1944 and 45, taking in D-Day, the Battle of the Bulge. There's a co-op story featuring zombies. That's great.
Standard.
It's going to have a social hub like the Destiny Tower. That's weird. I don't know what to make of that.
Who knows?
Bit strange, but yeah. Yeah, so there you go. Did you see the trailer? Did you watch the video?
I only saw, was it the reveal trailer?
Yeah, the 2-minute reveal trailer thing.
I looked at like the hour-long fucking conference, and I was just like, I literally just skipped through it to see if there was some gameplay, and I was like, oh, okay, no.
It's just a dude chatting away.
Yeah.
It said in-game footage on the reveal trailer, but most of it was sort of,
hidden behind
tampered with, doctored camera angles that aren't standard for the game. So you didn't really get to see exactly what it had looked like, but
no.
Other than some quite impressive facial animation, which I think Battlefield 1's already done a rather good job of anyway. This feels a little bit lame to me. Like,
lame is such a good word for it.
It does. World War II, it's just, it feels to me like they were like, fuck, DICE have done a World War I game. Literally, we don't know what to do. And it does. It feels like that.
Yeah,
it's
well,
what?
And like the whole tag was like, yeah, we're going back to our roots.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck off.
I mean,
twats.
You've run out of ideas is what's happened, and people are sick of fucking near future bullshit.
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it?
I mean, I don't know what the strategy is here. I don't think people necessarily trust Sledgehammer either. This is Sledgehammer's turn to make a Call of Duty game. I think Treyarch have become top dog now. Infinity Ward probably, maybe second. I don't know. Perhaps third. Maybe Sledgehammer are slightly ahead of them at this point. But yeah, I don't know, man. I've very little interest. I'm like thoroughly underwhelmed, and that shouldn't be the case because we've just come off of Black Ops 3, which we really, really enjoyed. And no, obviously we didn't get Infinite Warfare, and it seemed like almost like a mod of Black Ops 3. But I would expect, with the sort of enjoyment we got out of Black Ops 3, for me to be excited for a new World War II COD, because I used to love World War II COD back in the day. But I've just got no love for this at all. What about you?
No. Again, I guess. I don't know. It could be good, but I don't know.
I hope it's good.
I've got my old-timey World War shooter. Thanks now. I don't know. I don't know what I want from a shooter now. I mean, I watched Rogue One for the first time last week. And I kind of want Battlefront 2 now. Just because of fucking Star Wars, but
yeah, no, I can see that, and looks like that's going to cover a load of the movies. That's going to have Return of the Jedi shit in there, and even Phantom Menace stuff, which obviously, like, they were underwhelming films, those three, but there was some great, interesting levels and some interesting characters like Darth Maul, and I don't know, it could be awesome. Battlefront 2. I am pretty excited about it, if I'm honest.
I was on Reddit the other day. Yesterday must have been, because that's when this got released, and I saw this picture with what was the tagline for it? I can't remember now. Sledgehammer, don't let Call of Duty World War II multiplayer be like this. And it's a picture of like the World War II shooter, like the guy. And he's got like a purple hat with like a weed symbol for a badge. His camo is like bright green with purple dots, and he's got like a golden gun. It's like, yeah, that could happen.
It could. It really could.
You would hope not, and it kind of made me laugh quite a bit. It's funny. Yeah.
They're going to want to make this thing gritty, but at the same time, it's got to please the sort of COD audience. So,
yeah, that's the thing, isn't it?
Yeah,
you just don't know where it's going to go. You know, no way is it going to go back to like the old days of Call of Duty and Call of Duty 2 and stuff like that. I don't think it would do that, but I don't know. Maybe like the campaigns will be savage like those, but yeah.
Do you think that the power of World War II as a subject for our generation had anything to do with the fact that a lot of our family were involved in it? We had grandparents who fought in it and stuff, and we've got to the stage now, like another generation on, where there aren't any real tangible ties for a lot of these people now. Like 17, 18-year-old kids now, like they probably didn't know a family member who fought in World War II. They wouldn't have had family members who, stormed the fucking beaches. And perhaps that takes the edge off of it as a topic a little bit. I don't know if that's got anything to do with it, or maybe it's just the fact that it's been tackled so many times before, and even if they have not done a World War II game for several years, no one gives a fuck anymore. I don't know. Maybe it's that. Either whatever it is, I'm completely underwhelmed. I don't think that the hype's there. It doesn't feel like it. I look around the internet, I'm not sure that the fucking buzz is there. I think Call of Duty's dying. I think it's dying very slowly, but I think it's dying.
So what you're saying is we need a new world war to get some decent games.
Well, Trump's on it, buddy, so,
Trying his hardest.
Yeah. If only Homefront could have been good. It had some great ideas. But
I mean, the original Homefront was absolutely balls as well. So, I mean, it didn't have a lot to live up to. It probably surpassed the first one. For some fucking reason, I played through that entire campaign. Don't ask me why. It was terrible. One of the worst games I ever did. But I think it's because I bought it on PS3. And I don't know. For some reason, I had to play it just to get my money's worth.
Yep. Ran like arseholes. Had some great ideas, though. But either way, there we go. That's the reveal.
Bad game.
That's the news from me, buddy. I think it's time to hand over to you for my favourite section, and yours, dear listener. It's Ash's News Favourite Things of the Week.
If you like news but hate information, you have found the right place. Ash's News Favourite Thing of the Week.
Yes, buddy, and we're back. Ghost Recon Wild Pants spends 4th week at the top of the UK charts. No one has a fucking idea why.
Is it not mildly depressing that that's the best-selling game in the world at the moment?
I'm very upset.
It's just a bit underwhelming and boring.
Mantis Burn Racing, I hear you say. Great game. Yeah, it is. Especially because there's free and paid DLC coming.
Cool.
Free DLC, buddy. Snowland, apparently. I don't think it's called Snowland. Snow something.
It should be called Snowland.
I mean, Snowbound. There you go. Fucking... There you go. Bit of snow.
You got
snow in that. We'll play that.
You got it.
But, you know, it's always nice to get some free DLC. Star Wars Battlefront 2. It will have dedicated servers. Deluxe edition content can be unlocked by playing the game.
Oh, hello.
What the... I didn't see this coming.
Do you remember saying something about this last week?
Yeah, exactly. There's been new stuff talking about it. And yeah, it's like, yeah, everything can get unlocked whilst playing the game. Or you could buy it.
That's what I'm after. That's at least
that's nice.
I can fucking grind it if I want.
I will play that game.
At least give me the option to grind it if I want to grind.
Indeed, buddy. Did we mention about the latest GTA Online mode? I don't think we did last week.
I can't remember if we mentioned it or not. But
I don't think we
might
did.
as well talk about it again now. Certainly cheeky on their part. And worth
it's going
mentioning,
a bit retro, buddy.
Worth mentioning that
Like
Micro
old-school
Machines
GTA.
was delayed, and it isn't actually out for
fuckers.
another month now. So we can't
Fuck
spend
that
a
game.
tenner on it.
No, I know, bastards. So yeah, it's going back to old school GTA top-down viewing with cheeky car races and shit, buddy. It has dropped by now. It said April 25th, so the other day. I guess it should be live. And yeah, I think we might have to give this a burn on game night, buddy. So everyone fucking make sure you're up to date. You know.
Absolutely. Hat Films chucked a video out of this last night, so
nice.
It is definitely live. Although they sometimes get early access to this sort of thing, but yeah, looks fun.
Bastards.
It looks quite fun, but not loads of fun. In that, at the moment, it seems that, or maybe this is just the way that they had it configured. If you crash out, spin, or anything, then you're basically toast. You know, it's got the whole Micro Machines mode where you need to be within the sort of zone of the leader, and if you fall back, then you just explode and lose the points. It used to be if you fell off the screen. They've extended it a little bit for sort of online play. But yeah, it looks cool. It looks really cool. Obviously, it's using the full game engine. It's got loads of the proper cars, but they've added loads of power-ups. For example, there's a power-up you can pick up where your car turns into the Tron bike, and then you can just like veer across the track and kill everyone. Bombs and all that sort of thing. But I don't know, buddy. What do you reckon about it?
Yeah. Should be a giggle. That's pretty much all I've got to say about it. I reckon it's going to be fun. So, final bit of news here, buddy. I've seen this new game called Hack Tag, like hashtag,
Right.
but not. Yeah.
Yeah.
Co-op stealth hacking game. One person has to be Crabtown, like hiding about the other guy, hacking terminals and shit, opening doors, setting off triggers and stuff. It's on Steam Early Access at the moment, but it looked pretty cool. Hopefully, it might come to consoles at some point. It looks like a little interesting game that, nice little bit of co-op action.
That's quite a cool idea, having one of you...
I know.
Yeah. Yeah. So one dude's like Crabtown, and then the other one is Hacktown. And that sounds quite interesting.
Yeah, early access at the moment, so fuck knows what's going to happen. Made by Piece of Cake Studios, buddy. Yeah, it looks nice. I like it.
Sweet as the proverbial.
There's a lot of games on PC at the moment that I kind of want, and just saying.
It seems like that'd be the perfect game for multi-platform, so that you could have the hacker on like a mobile phone or something. So similar to the stuff The Division was allegedly going to do.
Oh, that game. I remember that.
Remember The Division? Yeah, vaguely.
Remember?
Yeah.
I remember. So yeah, buddy, that is my news favourite things of this week.
Oh, well, thank you very much, buddy. That's your news. We've had my news, so that was the news. And now it's time for Out This Week.
And that's out this week. Great.
Busy.
I was pouring beer at the time, and then it nearly overflowed. I was in so much trouble.
Dangerous, buddy. Can happen.
And will.
We got games for gold and PS Plus.
Hit me. What we got? What's the best of the best? I mean, let's go for games for gold, because that looks amazing.
Well.
I love the yawn. Was that intentional?
It was. I mean, honestly, just fucking cockroach.
Go on then.
Xbox games for gold. We've got Gianna Sisters Twisted Dreams Director's Cut, which is
sweet.
A sort of 2D hardcore platformer. And Lara Croft and the Temple of Osiris, which is that fucking Lara Croft game. That's like £1. That's your Xbox One on 360.
I think it is actually 90p on the Android store at the moment.
Not a bad game.
Oh no, we played the whole thing.
Yeah.
It was great. Loved
Not
it.
especially exciting as your fucking games for gold lineup, though.
No. What's on the 360, buddy?
We got Star Wars The Force Unleashed 2, which I feel like has been on there like 5 times, but I'm probably just misremembering. And Lego Star Wars The Complete Saga. Now, that's not too bad, because bearing in mind these have got backwards compatible, you can play it.
Scorpio friendly.
You can play it on your Xbox One. So Lego Star Wars The Complete Saga on your Xbox One, fair enough, that'd be nice. But fuck me, the rest of it's toilet.
It's terrible, isn't it?
Shit.
Absolute dog
just
shit.
Bullshit.
It's all old wank.
Yep. Yeah, all old wank or stuff you don't want.
Yeah.
They have the cheek to describe it as $80 worth of value.
Of course it is.
I suppose, dependent on what they've priced things on the store at the time.
Yeah.
So PS Plus, we on the PS4, you will get Tales from the Borderlands.
Yes,
it's a game that
we have.
We have, and
haven't completed.
I haven't even got it installed because just fuck off.
Don't.
And Alienation.
Helldivers,
guys. No, Alienation.
Is it?
I don't know if it's the same dudes, but no, it's the guys who made what's that thing
Zombie Nation.
Yeah, zombie, whatever it was. That game, that game that made our consoles seemingly like fucking go into orbit every time we load. It was just terrible. Like, it sounded like it was breaking the console.
Yeah, it was
Dead Nation.
Zombie.
It was Dead Nation.
There you go. Zombie Nation, Dead Nation, some nation, innit?
Alienation is supposed to be a far better. That's this one.
Okay.
It's supposed to be a far better game than Dead Nation.
Meant to be decent.
I'm pretty sure JJ talked this up when it first came out. He picked it up and played through.
I believe so.
So it's got co-op elements. I think that's something that we will definitely have a go at. Unlike Tales from the Borderlands. So,
because I've already played it and it's wank.
So PS3, you get Blood Knights, and Port Royale 3. Both of those have longer names than that I couldn't even be fucked to type out. We got Last Disco Defenders and Type : Rider on the Vita stroke.
Colon Rider?
Colon Rider. Type : Rider.
My kind of game.
Colon Rider.
Love running
That's your
game.
Vita crossplay, whatever.
Sweet, yeah, they sound wank. Why not give me a good game?
Don't even really care anymore.
No.
Just like numb to it.
Everything's
It's
terrible.
just rubbish.
So, I mean...
Fine. We'll play Alienation, you know.
Yeah, I think we'll chuck that on one night and play it. Bit of co-op, why not?
Couple of biatches, buddy. But yeah.
Yeah.
Xbox lineup's fucking diabolical. Like...
It's fucking terrible. I mean, seriously, that is...
Wouldn't
just
have been
like,
that
who came
many.
up with that list and was like, yeah, guys,
I've got this.
we got this. This month, we've got this. Fucking... Did they not see that and be like, oh, guys, we're fucked this
I
month?
think they've just... Both companies
I mean-
have succeeded in just making no one give a flying fuck anymore.
Like, those PS3 titles, I don't even know those games. I mean, I do know Port Royal 3 is a pile of ball bags, but I mean, we're talking about PS3. Fucking throw us a freaking bone here,
There's
man.
so many
Like,
options.
There's so many good games that you could put out, and it's just like, nope, shit one's for you. Like, why can't we have Lego? I want Lego.
But
Fucking, they could put Lego out on the Vita. I'd play that.
I think that the complete Lego Star Wars one's a really good one because they know that that's a lot of content. Those were some really
it is.
good games, and you can play them on Xbox One. And that's where they've got the leg up, is that they can bolster their lineups.
All these PS3 games, they're pointless to us. I'm like,
Yeah.
fuck it. And the Vita games, I mean, they are just pointless games because there's nothing good on the Vita. I mean,
It's true.
this week I was like, top 10 Vita games. I'm like, wow, loads of JRPGs. Cool. Sweet. Just what I fucking want. I mean, yeah, sure, I'll play Persona because apparently that's the best one, but fuck everything else. And then all the other stuff's like just games that I've already played, like Gravity Rush, Uncharted, Tearaway. I'm like, something new?
No.
Like, anything?
No one's bothering now, are they? So
No, obviously there's not going to be anything new out, but I mean, like, there must be more than like... I've only played like about like 20 games on the Vita, and I feel like I've played them all.
big old missed opportunity
if-
of that console. Really was.
Seriously, like, it looks so good. Like, the graphics on it for a handheld, probably like shit on the fucking Switch as
Yeah,
well.
and that OLED looks really nice. Like it's
Nah, I haven't got the OLED, buddy, you see,
well,
unfortunately.
it looks decent. It was
Oh, yeah, no.
and
it's
Sony
still
killed it. Let's
really nice.
not pretend that anything
Well, of
else
course they
happened.
did.
They killed it. They killed it
No,
off because they couldn't be bothered to support it anymore. All the developers who were programming for
I'd
it.
like to actually see like the power between like the Vita and the Switch or something.
I would imagine that the Switch is far more powerful, but you know,
You would think so, yeah.
you're right. Like you don't really see it, so I don't know.
Because like I looked at obviously like I was looking at the Lego games and I looked at Lego, I think it was like Ninjago and I went on YouTube to see what does it look like on the DS, but I ended up looking at a Vita version. I was like, fucking that looks well good. And I looked at the DS version, I was like, that looks well shit. So yeah, like obviously the DS compared the 3DS compared to the Vita, like the Vita shits on the 3DS like graphically, but yeah, I don't know about the Switch. Like, yeah, the Switch has got a fucking shit all over it, hasn't it? Has to.
Yeah, I've just found a little article on Pocket Gamer actually, and this should interest you. This quote. We won't get into the technical nitty gritty here. That's not really our bag. Suffice to say that the Vita's GPU is roughly equivalent to that used in the iPad 3, while the Switch is more in the ballpark and technically ahead of the Xbox 360. That's an obsolete tablet compared to a last-gen home console. Don't sugarcoat it, guys.
Well played. Yeah, well, there you go. Isn't
It
it?
doesn't really tell us very much, but yeah, the Switch must be more powerful, but I don't know how. I don't know by how much.
Yeah.
I did like Digital Foundry did a comparison video of Mario Kart 8, but they didn't just do it on the Wii U versus the Switch. They also did it on the 3DS, and they kept cutting between the Switch and the 3DS, and obviously the 3DS version looks like a fucking SNES game. It's just
it does.
ridiculous. But yeah.
Oh dear.
Anyway, those are your PS Plus and your Xbox One games for gold. The only other thing out this week, literally the only title coming out this week, is Prey. That comes out on Friday, and
That looks balls.
it does. It does, buddy. It also makes a mockery of this section, and I suppose we should move on from it, therefore.
Sure.
And now it's time for the JfG Top 5.
Just for gamers, top 5.
What's the top five this week, buddy? We got anything good, or is it all bad?
We're going down the old bad road, buddy. Bad news bears.
Shit.
Makes up for a lack of an FLP this week. There was such a shortage of news that I didn't even feel it right to justify having an FLP, so I didn't bother. But this is the worst things in video games. Top 5.
It's just the worst.
Just the worst.
It's the worst things you can fucking find in video games or about video games. You know, when I wrote this, I just was like, yeah, just fucking what's the worst things in video games?
But
man?
I think the sort of list that we've ended up with here is it's less like the worst things in video games. Like there's all sorts of terrible things. But
Randy Pitchford
is one.
Number 1.
And
2, 3, 4, and 5.
It's like Steam having loads of fucking shit on there.
Yeah.
But this is like the worst, as in the sort of, oh, for fuck's sake, kind of, it's more sort of common, simple issues that we've had to sort of tolerate over many years, rather than hard-hitting shit like, fucking problems with like, I don't know. I just think it's more lighthearted. This is more lighthearted stuff rather than to a degree, but it's not like games that shouldn't be launched. Things that are broken it's not like people on the Rob trying to sell fucking duff software and stuff. It's more like, well, we'll go through the list and you'll see what I mean. Number 1 on the list, and this is genuinely number 1. Like, these aren't necessarily in order. But this is the worst thing ever. It has been the worst thing for ages. Yeah. And this is Invisible Walls, buddy.
I fucking hate
There's
Invisible
no
Walls.
excuse for Invisible Walls now.
There's no need for Invisible Walls. Why have you got Invisible Walls? What are they there for?
Make your game properly.
Fucking when we played Trackmania, didn't come across any Invisible Walls there. Biggest open world game ever, Ubisoft there. Just fucking under the radar.
There you go.
Like, check this out.
No.
That was fucking mental though. Like I drove for like 5 minutes and it was just like, what? You can keep going. I was like, I'm going to get to those mountains over there. I made it with like 20 seconds to go. Just went over the mountains. I was like, there's more mountains. There's more mountains. Like, why can't every game be like that? Stop with your fucking invisible walls.
If you don't want me to go there, put something in the way.
Yeah,
it's not hard.
It's that simple.
How lazy to not put something in the way and make it a substantial thing as well. Don't make it a fucking barrier.
I've got to add something to this. I'm just thinking of it. Jumping. Why can't I jump up stuff?
Yeah,
like playing like The Last of Us. Why can't I climb up that bin? Why can't I climb just up that little tiny step?
Maybe a tiny bit more forgivable. Just a tiny bit. At least they put something there. Legs. But yeah, it is infuriating when I think the worst thing is when there's no consistency there. Like, you can climb up something that's a certain height, but another thing that's the same height you can't climb up. I think that's just annoying game design. Lazy game design, I'd even go so far as saying. So, yeah. Invisible walls, fucking what a load of shite. And talking of a load of shite, buddy.
Oh, go on then.
And you've written this, and I like this. I'm going to use this from now on. Being over cucumbered is number 2 on the list.
No one likes being over cucumbered, buddy.
I think we've discussed this within the last sort of 6 or 7 episodes, and I made the point that if you can carry enough wood to build fucking 85 fences, then what's the point of putting a limit on there? If I'm carrying 15 weapons, just let me carry unlimited weapons. It's not fun. Like,
no, it's not. I feel like this is our most moaned about topic as well.
It is.
It's just fucking...
They're games, man. So make it realistic and make it so I can only carry like 5 items. Or don't bother. Sack it off and just accept that it's a video game and maybe presume that being over cucumbered isn't necessarily a fucking fun thing.
Name of this podcast:
Being over cucumbered.
Over cucumbered.
Yep.
Yeah. Nice.
It's true. No, it fucking winds me up. Especially like Horizon Zero Dawn, it was inexcusable because not only was there a sort of over incumbents where you couldn't pick anything up anymore, but also the management system was terrible. So it was a chore to go in there and resolve it. And that's often the case with like RPGs and stuff. Like, not only can you suddenly not jump anymore, but also going into that menu is a fucking ball ache. It's just the worst.
Yeah, not great.
Good lord. That's a good one, buddy. What a load of shit that is. Number 3, launch day ear shoes.
Yeah.
And this is widely accepted now. Because it's been such a long time with games coming out that don't work properly on day one, it's widely accepted. Like I feel like the sort of internet now, it's almost taboo to have a pop at games that don't work on day one. You just get people saying
there's people jumping to their defense.
Yeah, exactly.
But no. Yeah, okay, yeah, you should have known that there was going to be issues. But when like on Twitter or anywhere, and it's like, oh no, come on, guys,
give them a chance.
They're trying their
hardest.
Working
really hard. Like,
I don't know why they sound like that. But they do.
I don't know.
Okay, guys,
they just do.
Give them a break, guys. They're doing their best.
Yeah, fuck off, are they? I've paid my money. I've earned my money, and I've spent my money.
I've sponged my money and spunked it all over you.
Just because it happens regularly doesn't mean it should be accepted.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a difference.
I mean, I was going to go somewhere with it, but I've stopped myself. I was going to be like, hey, rape happens every day. Still not acceptable.
I mean, I can see where you're coming from there, but I think, yeah, that really has darkened things.
Just saying, it's not acceptable.
It's not acceptable. No. I don't know where to go from there.
Number 4.
Number 4. Microtransactions / season passes.
Yeah, I love season passes.
Fucking no.
Okay, no, I don't.
I hate this shit. It's so annoying. I don't want to pay more for other things that I think probably should have been in the game in the first place. And
especially
for the record,
even on the fucking disc,
for the fucking record, I don't want DLC at all. Even if
DLC,
I don't want DLC. Even if it was legitimately made after the game came out and is an add-on for the game that is a legitimate add-on, I don't want it.
What about, say, like, it's next year's edition of the game? So, like the Taken King.
Well, then that should be a new game. That should be a different game.
Okay.
I don't want DLC. I never played DLC back in the day, even before. Even like, I mean, anything after Half-Life 2. I mean, the episodes, I played those because I fucking loved that. But even like Oblivion, what was it, Shivering Isle?
Yeah.
I don't want to play anymore. Like, honestly, I've always felt this way with almost all DLC. I felt the same with GTA. I got the Lost and the Damned. I don't want.
Yeah, I got that game as well. I played half of it and I was like, fuck
I don't
this.
want DLC. I want you to start making something new. Honestly,
Yeah.
I'm not interested in another chapter. And I feel the same about Uncharted 4. I think we're going to get that, and we'll probably enjoy it. And Naughty Dog, they're a fantastic team. But I don't really want them to be working on more Uncharted 4 content. I played Uncharted. I loved it. I thought it was brilliant. It was a perfectly wrapped package. It didn't feature DLC bullshit. It didn't have, like, microtransaction stuff in the career.
I've got a perfectly wrapped package.
Of that I have no doubt, my friend. But I'm just saying, I don't want DLC. I don't want another chapter of the story. I want a new game. You had your chance. You spent 5 years making something. I don't want, you don't get a movie where it's like, oh, we've spent a year, we've shot another half hour. Here you are. Fucking, this is where it might have gone next. Fuck off. You released your product. Move on. I don't want it.
Imagine if they started doing that.
Why wouldn't they? Why not? A couple of biatches, buddy.
Fuck it. Sounds good to me.
Oh, shit. Number 5 on our list, and this is inspired by the Prey demo. This is generic boredom. Just fucking. I'm fucking bored. I'm bored of these generic fucking games with the same mechanics and the same tutorial. Like,
yeah.
And they look kind of similar. Just games. Honestly, there is a bit of the gaming industry right now. I'm fucking sick of it. Ubisoft games, they're all the same. They're all coming out. They're all the same.
They're all the same.
They kick things off with their towers. They're going to bring back Assassin's Creed to a fucking tremendous fanfare. It will be the same. Like, it will. It will be the same. And I know that that's always been the case in the games industry. Like, it's increments. It's incremental. It always has been, But I'm starting to get a little bit fucking bored of shit, buddy. I really am, and I'm becoming harder to please by the looks of things. I think that's because there's so many games that are all the same and fucking franchises that are 15 games old. I'm fucking sick of it, man.
It's a worrying thing, isn't it?
It's honestly, there have been moments recently where I've almost like put the controller down and left the flat and like gone outside, like maybe gone for a walk and stuff. And I'm just like, no, this isn't me. But honestly, like I'm starting to consider just exploring the world around me rather than playing video games. I have to do a new podcast where It's just each week we visit another National Trust property, and I'm like, yeah, I went to Penshurst, and I really liked their water garden. They could have done with a petting zoo of some description, but I don't know. Am I alone here? I mean, we've just picked up Persona, and one of the reasons that I love it so much is because it's not like anything else. Are you getting any sort of fatigue here with video games, where it just feels like, I mean, the Call of Duty reveal is a perfect example. I've seen that game. Yeah, it's Call of Duty 2.
It's another game.
It's Call of Duty 2, man.
Like,
I don't want to play that again.
No, I don't want to play that again. That's the thing. I looked at so many games for the Vita over the past week and going like, I don't want to play any of these. I want something new, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. I'm with you.
The game's getting better anymore, or is it just the graphics that are?
It's probably just the graphics, I guess.
I don't know. Prey's boring.
I think you're right, which is worrying.
I was excited about it. Is there any bigger sign of boredom than what I'm doing with games at the moment, i.e. setting up my steering wheel, having, like on Tuesday, I did 100-mile round trip for work. I came home, I set up my steering wheel, and then I did like 100 laps of Brands Hatch in a fucking Fiat 500. Like, there must be something wrong if that's how I want to spend my time right now. I'm just saying. I think we should move on, but I'm just saying.
We should move on. That's a good top 5 there, or a shit top 5.
Top 5.
Done good.
I think we've really hit home the dread in that top 5. This is a top 5 worst things in video games, and our list is as follows, buddies. Number 1, invisible walls. Number 2 being over-cucumbered. Number 3, launch day ear shoes. Number 4, microtransactions / season passes. And number 5, generic boredom.
That will happen.
And now it's time for Fuckwit Corner.
Fuckwit Corner with funk. Fuckwit Corner with funk. He's got some questions for funk.
Has he got some questions, buddy?
No, he's on holiday.
Okay, fair dues.
And now it's time for JfG Street Beat.
You got a question we want to know. Street Beat. Facebook, Twitter, we're on them all. So hit us up and be on the show. Street Beat. The JfG Street Beat.
Street Beat.
We want to know.
Get on the show.
You can get on the show, and Mel got on the show by posting a bizarre picture in the community this week of
very confusing.
Some sort of drumming gentleman. I couldn't really identify what that game was. Was it? It looked like Fallout 3, but
I don't know.
I don't know what it is. Tell us what that is, Mel. I'm probably just being dim. Maybe it's Ark. I don't know, but I just don't know what's going on there. I mean, to be fair, it looked a lot like how I would imagine Mel Gibson's soul to be, i.e. sort of Braveheart, banging away the drums.
Nice, like it.
Because they can't take his drums. Well, they can take his drums, but they can't take his freedom. So that's fine. So yeah, I would like to know what's going on there. PJ gets in touch as well, buddy. And he says this is a cheeky little question for us. What game is missing from your game libraries? And is there anything on the horizon to fill the slot? Still an RTS for me. So PJ wants an RTS. I noticed City Skylines has just hit Xbox One. Or is going to. I'm jealous of that, by the way. I think we could have done with that on PlayStation. But in terms of RTSs, with Dawn of War just coming out, like that was something to get excited about. But the fact that there's nothing like that on the PlayStation is a bit of a problem, because I think, Halo Wars has proven that you can do it. You can do it with a decent control system. It just seems like no one really is. In terms of what game is missing from our libraries at the moment, I'm not sure I could say any game is missing from our game libraries at the moment, buddy. I think we've got far too many games. Perhaps South Park The Fractured Butthole, which was supposed to be out some time ago. Maybe that's the game. What would you say?
It would be nice, but I actually have a question about it later, and that's the PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. I think that kind of mass multiplayer fucking shenanigan game it's not there on the consoles. I mean, Ark is there, but I don't know, it's not really in the same grounds. I guess it's more of like a community thing. If you get on a server and stuff like that, you can build with like other people around, which is cool. But Battlegrounds just looks fucking really cool.
Yeah, you need that PvP element to make it like a big deal, I think, at the moment. But yeah, you're right. Like PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds, anyone who spends any time on YouTube or just gaming sites of any kind, people are going nuts for this thing. If you don't know what it is, it's a kind of in the vein of the whole DayZ mod, where you've got a sort of survivalist kind of PvP scenario on a big sort of landmass. But the best way to describe this is Battle Royale. There's 100 players in each game, or up to 100 players rather. You all start off in a huge, like I suppose a GTA Titan, like a big fucking airship, and you can jump out whenever you want as you're flying over this island. And the idea is to be last man standing, or last team standing. You need to move about the map. There are places to loot and plunder. You can get guns. You can work as a team. There are vehicles. And the final twist to keep you from just holding up somewhere and camping or hiding, is that there is a ever decreasing in size circle of play, that if you aren't inside this circle at each sort of checkpoint countdown time, then you die. So you have to... So the game sort of funnels everyone into a specific location over a period of sort of 10, 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
It's got an excellent lobby system where if you die, you can pop straight out and back in within 30 seconds into a new game. And people are going nuts for this at the moment. It's, I think, best described, and this is a wanky term, but it's this emergent gameplay. It's where a playground has kind of been created, and interesting things happen because of the possibilities available to you. So it's not all sort of gentrified and fucking sterile like a Ubisoft multiplayer game. It's kind of a bit janky. There's infinite possibilities as to sort of what happens, and it's exciting. People find it exciting. I think that if that hit the PlayStation Store, it would be absolutely huge. It'd be fucking massive. Bearing in mind, I think this is 30 quid on Steam, and it's in early access.
Yeah.
People would pay that on PlayStation. They would. And it would be huge. It would be absolutely vast.
I'll be on that. And the thing that I love about it is the team elements to it as well. So like if you get in a team of like 3, 4 or whatever, then you're matched up against that size team as well, which keeps it fair. Cool.
You can't have one little guy hold up. If you're a team of 3, then you'll be matched. You'll be matchmaked with teams of 3. It's a great concept. It's been skirted around in the past, as I said, DayZ. I mean, it's got a little bit of armor about it as well, I think.
Yeah.
In that it's kind of, a headshot is a fucking headshot. Like, you're gone. It's a little janky because it's in early access. There are problems with it, but some of them are quite endearing. People quite like. I totally agree with you. I think we could really do with something like this on consoles, man.
Definitely. It'd be fucking sweet. I'd be all over it.
I think just maybe that's the sort of excitement I need, buddy, after my little tirade about generic fucking sterile gameplay. Maybe I need a bit of that. Don't know.
Maybe.
But yeah, if you've been playing that, I know some of our listeners are PC gamers and may well have got involved. Then yeah, we'd love to hear your thoughts about that, because we're quite jealous. I suppose you could give it a go, but you'd have to buy it on your own, and would you have anyone to play it with, and would it be any good if you were just lone wolfing it? I don't know. What do you think? Have you been tempted, having watched like a lot of videos and stuff?
And I'm still very tempted to give it a go, to be honest. But no, the fact that the fact that I haven't got many buddies to play it on PC with, it's a shame, I must say.
Yeah. Well, maybe it come out on Mac. That'd be nice.
Yeah.
I don't think it'd run. But anyway, there we go. Yeah. We could really do with something like that. The fact that you've got the free-to-play games on the consoles, you've got scope for this sort of emergent gameplay, and it would benefit hugely from having it. It's just a bit janky, and I think, up until this point, I would have said, Sony are just worried about putting something janky on the store, but we've got fucking horse racing sim on there, mate. So,
Yeah.
Bullshit. So I think that'll about do us, buddy, for episode 108 of the show. On this, a Thursday night. Weird.
I'm not happy about it still.
You're still a little bit peeved.
Little bit peeved, yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say.
It kind of throws everything out of whack because you end up drinking like 4 or 5 beers on a Thursday night, and then it's game night tomorrow.
Yeah, and I got to do the same tomorrow.
Yeah. Tricky business.
Happen.
These M&S beers have gone down smooth though, by the way.
Nice.
Good
like
shit.
it.
Yeah. What are we going to do now? I suppose we need to find some way of spending that £10 that I've got in credit.
Yeah, we need to sort that out, really.
Suppose we jump on the PlayStation Store and just potter about deliberating which shit game we're going to buy for about an hour and then go to bed.
To me.
Yeah, okay, we'll do that then.
Don't forget, we still got to do the intro as well.
Oh yeah, we'll do that. That's our new thing, by the way, buddies. You may have noticed last week, and also apologies for the terrible sound quality last week at the end. But my Mac just stopped recording with no warning. Normally, if Logic fucks up, it starts like bouncing in the sidebar. But no, nothing. It just stopped. Fucking brilliant. Thanks for that. But yeah. Also, apologies if my voice has slowly got lower and lower. But I got very drunk last night, was very hungover today. I'm just glad that I can still speak. So that's nice. But yeah. Okay. Thank you so much for listening to our podcast, buddies. You can find us at www.thejfgpodcast.co.uk, Facebook /the JFG Podcast. Our Twitter handle is @the JFG Podcast. You can find us on Stitcher, JFG Podcast, YouTube, JFG Podcast, beam.pro /the JFG Podcast, twitch.tv /the JFG Podcast. We're on all manner of other places as well, like SoundCloud, and so on. And we're also on Google Plus, if that is how you choose to live your life. Thanks so much for listening, buddies. We'll catch you next week. Until then, I've been Alex. He has been Ash.
Goodbye.
Farewell. You've been listening to the JFG Podcast with Ash and me, Alex. To find out more, head to www.justforgamers.co.uk, Facebook /the JFG Podcast, or Twitter, where we are @the JFG Podcast. Episodes go live every Sunday, and if you could pop onto iTunes and write us a quick review, we would love every inch of you, even if you got old and fat. Thanks so much for listening, and we will catch you next time.